Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 8 of Swords, classic overthinker. Sometimes the 8 of Swords is our analysis, our complex web of thoughts and feelings that prevent us from really hearing the intuition, from being guided by that still, quiet voice within. Because we're overthinking. Maybe we can hear it, but we're overthinking it. And so that message is getting lost. Okay? There's something that's trying to get through to you that in our ruminations, we're not hearing the message. Or we hear it, but it gets lost in a cacophony of other voices. Okay? I think right now you're in this classic overthinking energy where we're trying to find the needle in the haystack. It may be that we fully understand what it is that you need to do, but your mind is getting in your own way. We're talking ourselves out of it. Okay. Let's put this card into a little bit of context and let's see what is going on right now. I feel like you're somebody that, though, the 8 of Swords is not just a bad card. Let's not just think of it as an evil card. It has shadow, sure, but it also has a bright side. The bright side is that you understand every single angle of something. It's like a tesseract of thought. You haven't just seen the 4 sides, the ceiling, and you've seen into it, around it. You've seen in other dimensions. Like you really have a full picture of whatever this is that's going on in your life. This is an attention to detail. Okay? You've thought about every single aspect of this. So it's just now a matter of turning that off and letting your intuition guide you forward. Okay? So there's light in that card, and that's really a thorough analysis of something. Let's keep going anyway. We got a 4 of Cups. Interesting. We have Prince of Swords. We have a 5 of Pentacles, a 9 of Pentacles. You have the universe itself, the entire world in front of you. And this combination makes sense to me. The 4 is playing it safe. Okay, the 4 is that we're overthinking something because we're scared of moving forward into the unknown, wide open future. Yeah. Here we have a Knight of Wands, though, and an 8 of Pentacles rather than an 8 of Swords. We have a 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, and we have a Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, fire and earth. You're initiating action. You're going to do the thing. You're going to climb the mountain. You're worried it's not going to make you happy. You're worried that you're going to be miserable rather than happy. And so in order to prevent us from getting miserable, your unconscious or your complexes or your overthinking mind is keeping you trapped in the safe harbor, in the storm shelter. It's like you've gone down into the storm shelter before there's even really a storm. Things are getting a little shaky because you're perhaps being urged to roll the dice in some way. To me, that's a 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles to me is someone who's rolling the dice. Yeah. And once we let go of the dice, it's up to the universe. I don't know how it's going to turn out. It could be really, really good or really, really bad. I think you're worried that what we have, is we have success and we have happiness. Okay? So you're rolling the dice. Maybe you know that it's going to be very successful, but you're just not sure how you're going to feel about it. I feel like you're the person that always has a spare umbrella. Yeah? Spirit's showing me an umbrella like in the trunk of your car or in your bag. It's like it's hot and sunny outside, but you got the umbrella just in case. Something like that, right? That's kind of that's the impression that I'm getting. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with Mr. Ed, the tiny horse, right on top. We're not going to look at that card, of course, until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give you the confirmation that you need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. All right, now, as we look around the room, we see one major arcana card, and that is the universe. That is the world. That is the future. That is a card that's saying, stop procrastinating. The world is out there for you. Your whole future is wide open possibilities. It can be anything that you want it to be. Why are you hesitating? Why are you procrastinating? Why are you avoiding what you need to avoid? Or, I'm sorry, why are you avoiding what you need to do? Maybe that was a very important slip. Why are you avoiding what you need to avoid? Why do you need to avoid this? Because it's risky? Because you fear that maybe you're not going to be happy or that things aren't going to go your way? You know, why do you feel the need to stay in this box? This is that safe harbor. This is the storm shelter. Of course, you need to avoid the storm. If you expect it to be really shitty out there, pardon my language, this is a family show. If you expect it to be a storm out there, well, yeah, then that's something that you need to avoid. Right? And so that slip of the tongue is I think, very telling. We're avoiding what we need to avoid. It's terrible out there. It's hurtful. It's painful. It's scary. It's bad. It's evil. It is, it's a storm. It's destructive. It's not good for me. It's going to be bad. It's going to end badly. It's going to feel bad. It's going to be miserable. Well, yeah, that sounds like stuff to avoid. So this is the way that we are thinking ourselves inside the box. We're overthinking and we're keeping ourselves convinced that we need to stay put. It's too people-y out there. It's too scary out there. It's too risky. Got to avoid what you should not encounter. So I think we're looking at the Nine of Cups. We're not seeing a Nine of Cups because this is in the position of the fear. So we're sort of afraid of the opposite. The opposite of the Nine of Cups, of course, is the Nine of Swords, the misery. This could be either the best thing you've ever done, but it also could be the worst thing. And you're kind of looking at it, your part of you anyway, part of your mind, a part of your unconscious, a complex perhaps, is looking at your future and thinking, it's going to be terrible. Stay home. Stay inside the box where it's safe, Cancer. This card is the Moon in Cancer. This card really rules you right now, yeah? And it's kind of saying like, this is where you feel comfortable. This is the things that are familiar. This is what you know. It's limiting, but it feels emotionally stable. It's not great. There's no party. There's no adventure. There's no possibility of anything more than this. But at least the boat's not sinking. At least you're okay, right? And so this becomes a rationalization. This becomes that you're trying to convince yourself to stay here. There's that part of your mind that says, you don't want what's out there. There's nothing good out there. It's all evil. It's all pain. It's all heartbreak and terror and misery. You want to stay here in the box where it's comfortable and warm. We got our blanket, got our hot chocolate. We got our YouTube, our Netflix, and we're good. Don't need anything else. Convincing yourself that there's nothing outside of this place for you. You know, I don't need anything else. Everything I had just right here is all I need. But this is limiting you. And I think it's getting more and more difficult for you to convince yourself to stay where you are. Okay. Did you raise butterflies or something? I don't know if is that possible to even do. But you cultivated butterflies, or you had some spot in your garden where there were a lot of like the caterpillars and the chrysalis and then the butterflies, or you worked at a place that had a butterfly enclosure or something along those lines. Yeah. I feel like that image really fits in here. Because this is kind of the caterpillar that's refusing to get into the chrysalis, refusing to leave its caterpillar life because it's scary to go through the process, right? The caterpillar basically liquefies and then is reformed into a butterfly. So this combination of cards is the caterpillar resisting becoming the butterfly because the process sucks. Or we expect it to suck. Yeah. Anyway, we got our major arcana. We're reluctant to enter into the future because it feels like there's just too many opportunities for things to go wrong. The universe here is infinite possibilities, but we're looking at it as being probably bad. But you have fire, you have water, you have air, and you have earth, and earth. Even this is earth. The secret of the universe card is that it's Saturn and earth energies together. So what it's telling me is that stepping forward for you is about you removing limitations from yourself. Mystery card is going to be the Tower card, watch. This is about not putting boundaries on your evolution, not putting boundaries on your future or on you, on your soul, your spirit, your progress. Okay. Do you paint? You paint or you color on stones or something? Yeah. Yeah. I think just painting stones. I don't know if Spirit's telling me to mention the stones, painting the stones. Painting the stones, yeah. Anyway, so we have a lot of earth energies here, right? Because this is something on the physical plane that you are knowing that you want to do. It's something that's already kind of in motion, but you're resisting it. It's almost like you're trying to back out of something, maybe. Yeah. Underneath the surface, this is somebody who is on the fence. It's a Prince of Swords. It's kind of, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's undecided. We're like, I don't know. Okay? Because I think we're ruminating. So we're not moving at the moment. We're standing in place or sitting down in place. And we're just saying, I don't know if I want to go. Don't know if you're ready. I think you're having second thoughts. You're having doubts. I think you started to do something and then we stopped. Okay? Because there's some uncertainty. And this is a card that's kind of saying we have to figure something out here. We can't keep doing what we're doing. It's like we're trying to the phone's been ringing and we're just trying to ignore it. Okay, but eventually it's going to kind of catch up to us. It's like, you get that jury duty summons in the mail and you just kind of ignore it. Who would do that? They're going to keep sending it. Then they're going to start calling. Then they're going to send someone to your house, kind of like the census people, Like you might as well just get it done, get it over with, because they're not going to let up. Yeah. So the Spirit's calling on you for something, and I feel like we're just trying to I'm just going to sit here in my blanket with my hot chocolate. I'm just going to ignore the phone. If I ignore the problem, it will go away. It won't go away. So this card is saying we have to make a decision. Things are happening whether we're involved in them or not. I think it's part of our Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is something that's up in the air. It's a recent event for you where something kind of broke, or something, you realize that something was not stable and steady and predictable. This is a moment where the dice are rolling. The dice are rolling down the table. To me, the Five of Pentacles is always rolling the dice. It's the moment, it's that brief period of time, a moment or two, where the dice are tumbling down the, whatever, the board, the game area, the table, I guess, craps table. We've been getting this card a lot lately. I think a lot of us are existing in a state of uncertainty. A lot of us feel like we did everything we could, things are up in the air, we rolled the dice are tumbling down the table. None of us know how the dice are going to end up. None of us do, right? And so this, the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups and the Eight of Swords that we see are kind of like you trying to just pretend that the dice aren't rolling down the table, and that I don't have to look at the dice. I don't have to deal with the consequences. I don't have to deal with anything, you know. Trying to isolate. In a way, trying to avoid the problem, avoid the responsibility. Out of sight, out of mind, kind of ignorance is bliss kind of thing here. Okay? But meanwhile, everything is kind of up in the air, and we do need to go forward. And so I feel like this is kind of like, this is the problem, or this is the situation itself, that we kind of need to look at it, and we need to deal with it. This is a card of worry. This is the card of luxury. Okay? So you're trying to just pretend that your worries aren't there by staying in the storm shelter. If you just stay in the storm shelter and you just pretend that nothing else exists, well, then this problem will just go away, right? It'll solve itself. No, it won't. It won't. The Nine of Pentacles at the top is progress. Okay? That's kind of like, this is the moment that the dice leave your hand. This is the dice literally like traveling down the table. Okay? You're seeing that things are approaching a conclusion. There is progress here. Maybe you still aren't so certain about how things are going to end up. You have an idea of how you want them to end up, what you want the outcome to be. This is a card of gain. Right? This is the card of like really a kind of positive movement. This is progress. This is things going up and to the right. Things are getting better over time, right? When the line goes up and to the right, it's kind of a thumbs up, everything's good, you know? You don't want things to go down and to the right. Things are getting worse. You want things to kind of curve upward as much as possible. We want to see progress, but if you're stuck in that Four of Cups, there's no progress. It's almost like you're afraid to kind of look. It's like you've invested in the stock market, and you're just not even going to look at it and just pretending it's not there. Something needs your attention. You know, your future needs your attention here. You know, there is something that we need to do, but this is an internal kind of indecisiveness that's leading to a lot of procrastination and rationalization, and even making excuses for why you have to stay put and not engage with this. We're avoiding something. Okay. And I wonder if you're pretty sure things are going to work out well. You're pretty sure that things are going to succeed. This is somebody who's living a successful life. But I wonder if the real fear is that, I wonder if you're afraid of success, honestly. That if you get the win, if this is a huge win, that it's going to change everything. And what if you're not happy? What if everything goes your way, but you're still miserable? Right? What if everything goes your way, but you still, still feel like a loser, that sort of thing? Then what, And so, in a way, we're trying to ignore this, avoid this, because, I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't know, what that is. There's a reluctance to be successful here. And I think it has to do, obviously, with our 9. These two positions, right, in the spread are very intimately connected. The 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. The living a successful life does not always mean you're living a happy life. Okay, so we're kind of stuck in a limbo right here where it's just like, you know that you could be very successful doing something, whatever this is, whatever this activity is that you're going to do here. And I do think you're moving forward. You have a knight and a knight, fire and earth. You're ready to manifest this. Okay, this is your fate. You will stand up and you will leap forward with a surge of energy. Okay, fire and earth, the spiritual electrical circuit of creation. This is you manifesting. Okay, but as it stands here, we're delaying, we're procrastinating. I think you know that you could make a lot of progress and you could be very successful in your life, but there's a fear of happiness or a fear of perhaps being successful but not being happy. You know, sometimes we feel that, oh, well, if I just can get successful, if I can make a lot of money, or if I could build up a business, or if I can get to if I can get that big promotion, I'll feel better about myself. You know, then I'll finally feel like I'm worthy of something, or I feel like we belong here, you know. But then there's that reluctance to take that big job or that promotion or to be successful or to make that money or to, you know, be successful in life. Because what if I still feel the same? Sometimes the Four of Cups is a card of feeling like we don't deserve success. And so we're staying in this storm shelter. We're coming up with all sorts of reasons why to stay. But it really boils down to, don't you feel like you deserve to be happy? And don't you feel like you deserve to be successful? Yeah. In the future position, you have the world as your oyster, right? You've got the entire universe there in front of you. Your entire future is open-ended, infinite possibilities. This is infinite. And even the Nine of Pentacles is a function, it's a verb. This is living a successful life, not just achieving something, one thing, oh, you arrived somewhere. No, this is something that is in motion. This is a function. This is kind of how you're living your life. Or maybe this is the why, this is the sense of purpose, and this is the physical movement, the physical activity of your life, right? The actual work itself. Doing, it's the doing of something. Even the 5, it's an odd number, right? It's a doing, it's a verb. Verb, verb, verb. What you have with the 4 and the 8 is not a verb. That's the noun, that's a state. We're trapped in this particular state of maybe like not enjoying what we're doing, not feeling like we're worthy of it, not feeling like we're deserving of success or happiness, feeling like a fraud, feeling like even if I'm out here having a successful life and pretending to be happy, that I'm really not that person. Like this is kind of how you see yourself, even though you have this opportunity to really expand your life and break all kinds of records and boundaries and limitations, to go way beyond what you ever thought was possible for you. Yeah. Sometimes this is a card of expansion. It's a card that kind of brings us to that awareness, like if the universe is expanding, then it means that the stars are getting further and further apart, right? I don't know if that's real, I don't know if that's accurate or not, but the theory is, if the universe is expanding, the stars are getting further and further apart, which means that you're going to get lonelier and lonelier. And so you might be clinging to those familiar things right now because you don't want to feel like you're getting separated, like you almost worry that the more successful you get, the more cold distance there will be between you and any kind of feeling of familiarity, any feeling of being home. We don't want to be lost in space in this expanding universe where we're feeling more and more lonely every minute. So we're clinging to that Four of Cups because that's the familiar, that's the small, that's your hometown. Because it's familiar and you feel safe there. Because as you venture out into the universe, it's going to feel more and more lonely. Or at least that's the idea. That's the fear. This is kind of an agoraphobia almost. Fear of these wide open spaces. Gives us this really almost overwhelming sense of scale and distance. And so you're trying to keep your life small so that it can stay friendly and safe and intimate, and it can feel like home. As the universe expands, it's kind of like you stop feeling like you're at home. No place feels familiar. No relationship feels real or authentic. It feels like our connections are just becoming very, very thin. We're very far away from any other star. Kind of like they say, it's lonely at the top, right? You don't want to be the star because then you realize that it's very difficult to get close to anybody else. But I believe it's your fate. I believe that the universe is calling you, saying it's time for you to step into the larger role in your life. Now, we're going to talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Your general energy is the Knight of Wands. This is somebody who is kind of just saying, like kind of closing your eyes and saying, forget it, I'm going. Biting the bullet, leaping forward. Re-engaging with whatever this is, leaping out of the box. The horse and the rider have to be one unit. You kind of have to trust that impulse. It's almost like when you know you have to do something that's kind of scary or challenging, right? You don't want to stand there at the very edge of it and start thinking about it, thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, because you're talking yourself out of it. It's kind of like we just want to grab on and leap. The further the distance between the horse and the rider, the more likely it is we're going to fall down. If the horse doesn't trust the rider doesn't trust the horse, bad news bears. This is a card of no hesitation. It's the card of saying we just get up and we go. We don't give ourselves time to talk ourselves out of it. We don't give ourselves time to overthink and ruminate, because that's us coming up with excuses, talking ourselves out of it and back into the box. This is the card that's telling you to leap. Hold on tight and leap. Don't overthink it. Don't hesitate. Don't give yourself any kind of a buffer there to talk yourself out of doing this, whatever this is, whatever you're being called upon to do in your life right now. Now, in the environment, we have another 8. In your relationships, we have an 8 of Pentacles. This is a card of cultivation. It's a card of patience. It's a card of attention to detail. It's a card of diligence. Okay? And like I said, the 8 of Swords is not a bad card, because you understand all the ins and outs of something, and maybe because you understand it so deeply, that's why you're saying, I'm not doing that. I know better. Okay? I think that if we apply that to the 8 of Pentacles, you can take all of that knowledge that you have, all of that very detailed knowledge, and you can apply that to your relationships so that you can continue to cultivate and grow very healthy relationships. Relationships that will bear fruit. I think really what we don't want to feel is the isolation. But that 4 of Cups is isolating you anyway, because it's sort of closing off your heart. The other thing about the 4 of Cups is that it's kind of like we're closed off. It's saying, how do you avoid getting hurt by your relationships? Or how do you avoid getting into a bad relationship? Don't get into any relationships. How do you avoid a storm out at sea? Don't go out to sea. Okay? How do you avoid getting hurt by somebody? Don't get close to anybody. And that's the frozen kind of, 4 of Cups. It's just an icy heart. They're saying, I don't want to get hurt, so I'm not going to get close to anybody. Well, that's just as isolating. That's exactly what we're creating here anyway. distance between ourselves and others. Okay, yeah, the more distant I am from somebody, the less able they will be to hurt me. The less likely it will be that I'll be, disappointed or heartbroken or injured emotionally by that relationship. The Eight of Pentacles is the cultivation of healthy relationships. Okay, it's taking the time to pay attention to the people in your lives and to strengthen those bonds with people by paying attention to them, by giving them the focus, giving them the attention that they need. And I think that's one aspect of this situation for you. Whatever it is that you're meant to be doing right now, this is you giving the adequate attention. Since you know all the ins and outs of it, you're the one that's really equipped to make sure that it grows healthy and bears fruit. Yeah. The fruit seemed to be the Nine of Cups here. Okay. Nine of Cups is a card of living a happy life, pursuing happiness, following your bliss. This is really a card of sailing the open ocean. Well, yeah, it could turn into a Nine of Swords sometimes. Sometimes this can be an Eight of Cups. Sometimes it can be a 10 of Cups. Sometimes it can be too much. But this is you out there in the world following that fate, answering the call, pursuing your happiness wherever it takes you. This is the infinite ocean, the cosmic ocean. This is you sailing that ocean because you're pursuing your dream. You're pursuing your best life. It's also, it's the card of superabundance. And it's out there for you. I think the fear is that we will invest a lot of energy. We'll do a lot of work. We'll make a lot of progress, but we still won't be happy. I guess there's only one way to find out, But I think the chance of getting this is infinitely greater if you were to get up and go look for it than if you were to stay here. I think if you stay in the Four of Cups, you're guaranteed to not find happiness. You may find temporary comfort, temporary safety, but you won't find happiness there. So the Knight of Pentacles here, I think, is you really looking at the future and thinking, I can create something here. It doesn't have to be terrible and miserable. Looking at the future and understanding what is the life you want. Okay. And how does that compare to the life you have now? You can't get the life you want if we're just trying to convince ourselves that we're content with the life we have. The Four of Cups. This is us just kind of smiling and saying, I'm fine, my life's perfect the way it is. Okay, well, if you believe that, fine. Then don't do anything. But be honest with yourself. If you're trying to convince yourself that everything's fine, I'm okay, I'm fine. I don't need anything beyond this little box. If that's true, good. If that's true, that means you already have your Nine of Cups, that it's right here in the middle, not over here in the fear. So I think this is the card that's looking at the future and thinking, you have to begin. Yeah. It's time to set out on this journey and create your reality. Okay. It's as long as we stay in the box, our future will always be unmanifest. This is the card of the unmanifested future. If you stay in that box, that future will never materialize. You've got to make the decision to travel that road and manifest your personal reality. This is the card that's saying, get on the road. This is a Capricorn energy. It's saying, let's start climbing this mountain. You're responsible. Everything you do right now is creating who you are, where you are, and what you're doing down the road. It's time to get on the road. This is that card. This is the card of being on the road, Let's look at the mystery card. I want this to be the best life. I want this maybe to be another world card, or a 10 of Pentacles, or an Empress card. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Let's see what we have. Oh, well, even better. It's a 9 of Cups. It is this one. So this was our fear, that we wouldn't be happy. It doesn't matter what you do. You're not going to be fulfilled. You're not going to be happy. It's going to be miserable. I think this is a card that's saying, look, you're going to be a lot happier than you think. This is going to change everything for you. You have to be brave here. You know, hey, we could have gone with some fire energy, I think. We're a little bit lacking on the fire. We need to get fired up, and we need to believe that this happiness is out there for us. But we're not going to find it unless we get out of the box and go get it, go look for it, go build it, go create it, go cultivate it. Okay. This is the happiness of the achievements in life that really matter to you. Yeah. And so in a way, it's kind of asking you to admit that this is not happiness. This might be luxury. This might be, I'm trying to be content. This might be, I'm trying to convince myself that everything's okay and that I don't need anything beyond this. That I'm happy to just not be in a storm. You look at this card, you see the skies are gray. The water is a little bit choppy, not bad. It's okay. Decent weather. Decent weather. And it's kind of like you're saying, okay, I'll take a day that is okay over a day that's terrible. Of course. I would take this over like a 3 of Swords, you know. But this isn't the best you can do. Right? There are better days than this. There's better weather than just this. Okay, this is the difference between someone who is looking at their life and thinking, well, I should be content with my life because it could always be worse. Yeah, you could get a 9 of Swords. Compared to a 9 of Swords, this is bliss. Is that how you're looking at your life? I'm gonna be okay with what I have because it could always be worse. But you know what? It could always be better too. And if we don't do anything, if we do nothing, if we refuse to act or make a decision or to try to progress, this is going to slowly get worse. And it will be worse. You know, we have to keep moving. It can always be worse. Yeah. It can always be better though too. So let's not give up. Let's not convince ourselves to just be complacent right now. Okay? Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Cancer, Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.